Hey guys, Happy New Year. It's that time of the week. It's Real Estate Roundup. Let's talk about what's happening in Lakeland and Central Florida. So the home sales are low, the pricing is higher, and the mortgage rates stay flat. So the last 7 days in Lakeland, we had the average home sold was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home that stayed steady. The square footage of the average home went up to 1828. That's up 101 square feet from 1727 last week. The average list price went up significantly to $362,000. That's up from $321,000 last week. That's a $41,000 jump. The average sold price went up $39,000 to $351,000. There's a couple things that go into that figure, and as you know, over time, those numbers are very volatile week over week, but if you look over 12-month average, you can see prices just creeping upwards. So I wouldn't pay too much attention about the weekly volatile pricing changes. Good news was the average days on the market went down from 72 to 68. So that's a plus. The sales price compared to the list price percentage stayed the same at 97%. So that's that on average, the homes that closed, that they sold for 75% of the final list price. Remember, that doesn't mean the original list, that means the final list price. If it started at $500 and the final list price was $450, they sold for 97% of that number. And it doesn't take into account any closing costs or other outside of price incentives that were given. Average list price went up significantly from $184 per square foot to $194 per square foot. And also the average sales price went up $9 per square foot from $179 to $189. So if we look at this, something that we can take into account, some of the home builders have their fiscal year end at the calendar year end. And so usually when the new builds are the ones getting sold, that pricing goes up. They're slightly more expensive than some of the existing used homes that have some issues. These are brand new with all the warranties, etc. And within that price, they're paying down massive sums for lower interest rates and huge amounts for closing costs for the buyers. So we sometimes see that from time to time. If we look at what's happening, listing activities, new listings, sold listings, and new pendings, then the new listings are at 49 for the week. For Lakeland, sold listings were 83, and the new pendings were at 40. When I mentioned in the headline, the home sales are low, 40 new pendings is low. We need about 100 just for our market. That's what we have for Lakeland, and 400 for the county. So to be at 40, we're quite low. That means there's pent-up demand. There's always those people who are getting new jobs. They're outgrowing their current homes. They're getting promotions. They're downsizing. They're forming a new family, what have you. That's always happening, and it's very low. I will say also this took into account the New Year's weekend, holiday, days off of work. So that will affect it. So we may see a bump in the next couple of weeks. For Polk County, we had similar low numbers, 201 new listings, 314 closed, and 232 new pendings. And like I mentioned, it was, we need about 400 in that particular statistic. If we look at Polk County as a whole, we were very short on our new listings. We had only 86% of our sold homes were replaced by new listings. That's a 14% gap. That's a pretty big number. So we'll see how that goes into overall inventory coming up as we go along. It was the last week of the month, including the last 7 days, and so we had a massive shift for canceled, withdrawn, expired listings, and it was the end of the year. So we had 70 such homes come off the market, and that was up from only 14 the previous week, so massive, but we did expect that. It's not only the end of the month, it's the end of the year. Months of supply is at 5.62%, so we have 94% of the needed homes for the current buyers and sellers makeup and 6% shortage. That's the closest we've been to equilibrium for a really long time. But let's see what it looks like for December, because these stats are always a month behind. This is the November number. In about second or third week of January, we should get our December numbers. The number of listings that had a price drop was at 69. And we had over 1,040 listings in Lakeland this week. And as I mentioned previously, the interest rate stayed flat, and that was 6.2%. All right, guys, everybody's looking to 2026. Everybody's feeling a momentum shift, meaning positive. We had a couple contracts over the Christmas break. Everybody says nothing happens there, but it does. And so we're looking forward to 2026. Thanks you to everybody who came out to First Friday. We had an amazing time. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.